first off, if you guys are new here, if you guys have never watched my show before, I talk about South Asian news. I'm the Indian Hasanabi. I'm the Tamil Hasanabi. I'm talking about South Asian news. When can I watch the next stream? Next week. I stream on weekends only. Again, I stream on weekends. I would love to stream every day. Streaming doesn't pay the bills. Yeah. That much is true. Is there right-wing infighting going on? Just listen. It's not right-wing infighting that we're talking about here. No. I love America. This is very deep regional politics. This is very deep politics that is happening right now within my home state. So we're going to have to do a lot of explanations. That's not a reason to harass a journalist. He's just doing his job. I agree. That's not a reason to go after Shabir Ahmed. That is not a reason to harass this dude. Like, he's definitely more pro ADMK than DMK, which is likely to, again, the DMK IT guys. So I have my own issues with these guys. The DMK IT wing are literally exactly what you would expect them to be. They are sycophants for the current administration. They are sycophants for the DMK party. The DMK party is marginally better than the ADMK party in certain regards. The DMK party is more openly against, at least they project an anti-caste narrative overall, as opposed to the ADMK, which is more or less like, they're more, I guess you can say, ADMK is largely made up of the very dominant regional caste of Tamil Nadu. The power brokers, like if you like the former chief minister of Tamil Nadu, EPS, he comes from Western Tamil Nadu and he belongs to the dominant caste of Konganadu. Like, he comes from that caste in particular. So a lot of the ADMK is made up of Anda Parambarai castes that are very dominant. And to be fair, so are DMK, right? But DMK has more representation of marginalized caste, super marginalized caste in the party. So the DMK is slightly better than the ADMK, but the DMK IT wing is also just as toxic. And don't ask the DMK IT wing about Ilam Tamils, and don't ask these guys about Adivasi people either. Because the DMK also doesn't like Adivasis. The DMK, we're gonna rip into the DMK today, because they have not been handling this, like, on certain regards. A lot of the government workers, the cadres of the government workers are doing an admirable job. So this is not a shot at DMK party workers. This is not a shot at DMK workers that are on the ground doing the work, right? This is a shot at
The mayor of
Priya
Chennai,
Rajan,
Madam Priya,
for
thank you so
example.
much for
This is
talking
a
to
shot
us.
saying,
There
like,
are a
yo,
lot of
listen,
complaints from
you have
this
been
area,
under,
ma'am,
you have not been
this area
giving
has
North
been
Chennai
neglected
the
by
most
the
attention
Chennai
that,
Corporation for the
you have
past
not been
1.5
giving North Chennai the attention that
days.
it
There was no
needs.
response from the corporation, and people feel that they have been left abandoned.
None of the place has been left out, because Honorable CM sir is very concerned that public shouldn't be affected at any cost. So we are all focusing on it. Honorable CM sir also visiting the places directly, and even all the ministers are on the field, and the mayors and all the local body people are also in the field, and all the corporation employees are on the field. So everyone is working on it. This is the rain spell is much about for 45 years. It's not been like this. So natural disaster means we cannot control the nature. We have to fight with it. So we are fighting on it.
Okay, but at the same time, a lot of residents complain that their calls went unanswered to the to the relief centers, or even to the help centers. That the helpline numbers did not work. There were nobody who was answering, or nobody who was responding to their calls.
No, it's not like that. All the councillors are on the field. Everyone is focusing on their own wards, and all the ministers also on the field. All the MLAs also on the field. So everyone is working on it. So past 2 days there is no network coverage in any of the locations in Chennai. So it's a network issue which has been because of the network issue. We cannot attend the calls. Other than that,
But again, the other thing to keep in mind is that this is a well-known situation that has been happening in northern Chennai, that people from northern Chennai have been saying, hey, like, our our needs are not being met. Like places in Vyasarpadi, for example, like Vyasarpadi, Rayapuram, Sulaimede, Washerman Pet,
From morning, I'm getting calls from public directly, so I'm
Washerman Pet.
answering them.
Like
So what went wrong?
Northern
The
Chennai
areas where
is not giving
you know,
is not
stormwater
getting the
drains
treatment
were
that it
laid.
needs.
It's also inundated. Did the stormwaters fail?
No, it's not like that. Stormwater drains are working very well. Actually, this is the rain which has reached about 43 centimeters. So it's
Again, the
a
problem I said this when I was covering the stream, when I was covering the things.
vast rain. It's a vast.
To be honest, I didn't realize there were Adivasis in Tamil Nadu. I didn't know there were I thought it was like the East Central only, pretty much. Adivasis are everywhere in India. Adivasis are all over India. Every state has them. Every state has Adivasis. In Tamil Nadu, there aren't that many, right? And they're all concentrated in the Nilgiri Hills, in Nilgiris, in the extreme western part of in the westernmost part of the state, right? They're concentrated in the hill areas. But you do have Irula people like scattered all throughout the state. Like you do have Adivasis throughout Tamil Nadu. You also have Adivasis in Kerala. You don't hear about it as much because no major political party gives a shit about them. Like they're given scraps basically.
Hard spell for one day, so we have to manage. We cannot control nature, right? So we have to work on it.
Okay. Lastly, a lot of people are criticizing, saying that the government has spent 4,000 crores to Chennai, and it's all now underwater. How do you respond to these allegations? Even the opposition parties have raised this allegation.
See, it's not like that. See, stormwater drain, we have constructed the drain works. It's working very well. Last month, 29th and 30th, it was a great spell on those days. About 15 to 20 centimeters were registered on that particular days, 29th and 30th of the. So on that day, stormwater drain worked very well. None of the place was inundated in the Chennai city. So all the places went very well. This is the natural disaster. Compared to 2015, that's one happened because of the Chambarapakam area. So this is totally a natural disaster. We cannot control nature at a time. So we have to fight with it, and we have to rescue the people. We have to take measures for the safety of the people. So we are all taking on it.
And you completely reject the allegation that you have abandoned North Chennai.
No, never. We never abandon. We are all on the field. The MLA sir is on the field. Honorable.
They have not been doing a great job of. I will say this: the DMK have not been doing a fantastic. Like, I won't go so far as to say they abandoned North Chennai, but their handling of, their handling of North Chennai could have been significantly better. And he's reporting from North Chennai. So yes, a lot of people from North Chennai are very dissatisfied with the way, and to keep. So let's do a map of Chennai, for example, right? Let's do a map of Chennai, just to give you an idea of what the lay of the land is like. Okay. Where's the? Okay, so northern Chennai is this Tondiarpet, like Tiruvottiur, Perambur, right? This area. South, I mean, this is technically not South Chennai, but hold on a second. Where's the? I think these are electoral districts. I think Corporation of Chennai. Yeah, like this part, like this air, like just north of Egmore, right? All of this area, right? This is especially there's a place called Rayapuram. These areas are generally we call it Vada Chennai. This area has generally been neglected for a very long time. Like North Chennai being neglected as part of the floods is not as a result of the government corporation response team to the flood. That is not out of the realm of possibilities. Like North Chennai has been, I mean, one, it's partially due to the concentration of very marginalized castes in the northern parts of Chennai. Like if you're from northern Chennai, like Rayapuram, Washerman Pet, you are very likely to come from a very marginalized caste. That's you're very likely to come from a marginalized caste right here, and you're also very likely to be very poor. So them being neglected by the Chennai government by whether it be the DMK or ADMK administration, that is not out of the realm of possibilities. It is very likely, and it has been. I think in 2021, it was also pretty much the same, where the North was disproportionately affected compared to the city proper and southern suburbs. It just seems to happen every single time. Yeah, it's because the North is poorer. It's because the North is much poorer than the South. Yeah, like what is in the South? You have Raipeta, you have Mylapore, Tiruvallikeni, right? They're, again, Tiruvallikeni and Mylapore are overwhelmingly Brahmins, right? Raipeta, you have what? You have Madipakam, you have Velacheri, you have various parts of southern Chennai, which are basically like very rich suburbs. Sandy is from the South. Not to dox her too much, but she is from this southern part of Chennai, and it is much more upscale than this part. It is, I wouldn't say it's nicer than the northern parts. Like, I'm from what is now, I guess you can call it northern Chennai, but like what was historically central South Chennai. I'm from a place called Raipeta, right? That's where I'm from originally, right? Raipeta is actually not, it's a pretty nice place, I'd say, compared to Rayapuram, compared to Washermanpet, compared to compared to the other parts of northern Chennai. So yeah, for poor neighborhoods, natural disasters are going to exacerbate the already bad conditions. And what doesn't help is that the central government, whether it be ADMK or DMK, has always prioritized the South. Why? Because they're richer. That's usually how it goes. The poor, this is basically very similar to Americans. This is very similar to New Orleans. This is very similar to New Orleans. This is very similar. Like, Chennai is basically, in this situation, very similar to Chennai is India's New Orleans. Yes, this is basically this is the Indian equivalent of New Orleans. Chennai constantly gets battered by hurricanes. This wasn't the first time they got hit like this. It got hit back in the ADMK administration in 2015. And we had the same response. North Chennai was also neglected by the ADMK. This is not something that I expect any political party to be able to solve, because they're political parties. They're going to prioritize people that can probably that they're going to prioritize swing votes, and swing votes are largely in the South. El Bozo, don't you dare poop sock Arun. Yeah, no, doesn't building infrastructure that protects people in a good way help to win votes? How can you, Chennai's infrastructure is already awful. In the sense of, you can't really fix, Chennai's situation is pretty awful. How are you supposed to fix this? It's very hard to fix this situation right now. You can build better, you can be more mindful, or you can actually reorganize the city in a way that is more mindful of the environment. But again, there's no political will to fix this on either party side. There is no political will from the ADMK side, and there is no political will from the DMK side. Now, I don't expect BJP to come in here and make the situation better. No, of course not. BJP is going to make the situation worse. Right? BJP is going to come in and literally just bulldoze indigenous people just to build more hotels and stuff. I don't expect BJP to make the situation good at all. They're going to make it worse. And the same thing with Congress. Yeah, I want to mention that I live in the South and we recovered relatively quickly compared to the North. Things have basically returned to business as usual, but people in the North are still wading through stagnant water. BJP will blame Muslims somehow. Exactly. BJP will find a way to blame the hurricane on Muslims or whatever, and basically say, oh, this is why Tamil Nadu needs to be more Hindu or whatever nonsense. Right? They're going to make the situation even worse. They're going to do nothing about it. No, they literally they did this with Assam, by the way. They literally did that with Assam. Like, you think Nerd is joking, but like, the BJP already did this with the state of Assam. You think Nerd that was promised was joking, but the BJP already did this with the state of Assam when Assam got flooded.
At Kannigapuram 2nd Street, this is where a pregnant woman had delivered a baby uh, at the top of this particular
She had a miscarriage.
house. The baby died immediately after the delivery. This tragic incident
she
is
basically,
something that,
yeah, or actually, no, she didn't have a miscarriage, but yes, the baby died immediately after being born.
we found when we were reporting in Puliantop. The incident happened on.
It's because, again, the resources that she needed. It's because the resources that it wasn't a stillbirth. It wasn't a stillborn. The baby was born and then died because it couldn't get the necessary.
And
it couldn't get the necessary
family of Soumya
equipment.
Was making desperate calls, 108 ambulance, and they were trying to reach out to other
I almost said equipment, like my dad.
Numbers, seeking some kind of medical assistance, but they couldn't get any kind of medical assistance, and that is when they decided that they will make
no incubator.
Soumya,
there is no incubators that could have been gotten.
Who is the husband of சௌமியா. மன்சூர், அன்னைக்கு என்ன நடந்துச்சு? நீங்க யார் யாரெல்லாம் கூப்பிட்டீங்க? எப்போ வந்து அவங்களுக்கு வலி வந்துச்சு? என்ன நடந்துச்சு மன்சூர்?
இல்லை, நான் வந்து யாரையும் கூப்பிடல. அந்த பக்கத்து வீடு இருக்கிறாங்க, அவங்கள வந்து கூப்பிட்டேன். அவங்க வந்து பார்த்தாங்க. நான் அவங்ககிட்ட சொல்லிட்டு போனேன், கொஞ்சம் வயிறு ஒரு மாதிரியாகுது, அந்த லேடிஸ் விஷயம் தெரியாது, நீங்கள் வந்து கொஞ்சம் பாருங்கன்னு சொன்னேன். அவங்க வந்து பார்த்துன்னு இருந்தாங்க. அதுக்கப்புறமா ஒரு 15 மினிட்ஸ் கழிச்சு வந்து பார்க்கும்போது 50 மினிட்ஸ் கழிச்சு வந்து வந்தேன். ரொம்ப வலி எடுத்துச்சு சொல்லி வண்டி எடுத்துன்னு வரலான்னு சொல்லி போனேன். ஏதாவது ஒரு ஆம்புலன்ஸ் கிடைக்குமா அப்படின்னு சொல்லி ஃபுல்லாக தேடி பார்த்து 407 எடுத்துன்னு வந்தேன். 407 போக முடியாத நிலைமையில் ஆயிடுச்சு.
அதுக்கப்புறம் இந்த பெரிய வண்டி
அதுக்கப்புறமா வண்டி எடுத்துன்னு வர நிலைமை முடியல. எந்த வண்டியும் போக முடியாது. அந்த தொண்டைக்கு மேல் தண்ணிக்குது. பாப்பாவும் தூக்கின்னு போக முடியாது, ஒய்ஃபும் தூக்கின்னு போக முடியாது, எதுவுமே பண்ண முடியாது. அக்கம் பக்கம் இருக்கிறவங்க தான் ஹெல்ப் பண்ணாங்க, எல்லாரும் ஹெல்ப் பண்ணாங்க. அதுக்கப்புறமா அவங்க ஹெல்ப் பண்ணும்போது அதுக்கப்புறமா ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்காக குழந்தை வந்துச்சு வெளியே வந்து குழந்தை அழுவுல, எதுவுமே பண்ணல. ஒருத்தவங்க சொன்னாங்க. அதுக்கப்புறம் நம்மளுக்கு தெரிஞ்சவங்க அம்மா மாதிரி குழந்தைலேருந்து என்ன பாக்குறாங்க சூராமான்னு சொல்லி அவங்க கிட்ட போய் சொன்னேன், அம்மா இது மாதிரி ஆயிடுச்சுமா அப்படின்னு. அவங்க வந்து பார்த்தாங்க. நீ உடனே ஹாஸ்பிட்டலில் தூக்கி போடாங்க. நான் சொன்னேன்மா, இந்த தண்ணியில் எப்படிமா தூக்கி போக முடியாதுமா, நீ எப்படியாச்சும் பண்ணி ஐடியா பண்ணுன்னு சொல்லி அக்கம் பக்கம்லாம் இருக்கிறவங்க எல்லாரும் சேர்ந்து ஹெல்ப் பண்ணாங்க. மீன்பாடியில் அதெல்லாம் செஞ்சு எடுத்துன்னு எப்படியோ ஒப்படைச்சிட்டாங்க முத்து ஹாஸ்பிட்டலில். அங்கே போனாலும் அங்கே வந்து ட்ரீட்மெண்ட் பார்க்க மாட்டேன்ட்டாங்க.
ஒரு நிமிஷம், இங்கேருந்து நீங்கள் வந்து 108 ஆம்புலன்ஸ் கூப்பிட்டீங்களா? அவங்க
ஆமாம், வரல. காலிங்கே போல, ஃபுல்லாக யாருக்குமே ஃபோன் போல, 109க்கும் போல, யாருக்குமே போல. அதுக்கப்புறமா இந்த ஊர் ஜனம் தான் சேர்ந்து, இந்த தெரு ஜனம்லாம் சேர்ந்து ஹெல்ப் பண்ணாங்க. அதுக்கப்புறமா போன மேலே இருக்கிறவங்க அது அக்கம் பக்கம் பின்னாடி
பேசும்போது சொன்னீங்க இந்த மாதிரி கால் பண்ணி அவங்க வெயிட்டிங்ல போட்டாங்க கால்.
ஆமா, அது வந்து ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கால் பண்ண ஒரே ஒரு ஆம்புலன்ஸ் போயிடுச்சு. அவங்க லேடி என்ன சொன்னாங்க, நான் வந்து இருங்க கனெக்ட் பண்றேன் ஆம்புலன்ஸுக்குன்னு சொன்னாங்க. அவங்களும் ரொம்ப நேரமா கனெக்ட் பண்ணியிருந்தாங்க, கனெக்டே ஆகல. அதாவது அதுவும் வந்து பக்கத்துல இருக்கிற வீடு அவர் ஃபோன்ல இருந்தா போட்டேன். அவர் ஃபோன் அவரே சொன்னாருப்பா, கனெக்டே ஆகலப்பா, இது மாதிரி வச்சிருந்தா வேஸ்ட்டுப்பா அப்படின்னு சொன்னோன்னா அவங்களுக்கு
என்ன டைம் இருக்கும் இது?
We're talking about the floods that hit Chennai right now. 12 மணிக்கு
மேல வலி வந்தா 1 மணி ஆயிடுச்சு. அதுக்கப்புறமா தான் அவர் என்ன திட்டினாரு. வச்சுன்னா நானும் என்ன பண்றது, என்னால முடியலண்ணா, நானும் ஃபுல்லா தேட்டு வந்துட்டேண்ணா அப்படின்னு. G3 ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் போயிட்டு வந்தா ஃபுல்லா தண்ணி. பாப்பா எடுத்துன்னு போக முடியல, ஒய்ஃபும் எடுத்துன்னு போக முடியல, ஃபுல்லா இது பண்ண முடியல. அதுக்கப்புறமா தான் நம்ம தெரிஞ்சவங்க எல்லாரையும் கூப்பிட்டு இது பண்ணா பேபி இதை வந்துச்சு. ஃபுல்லா குழந்தைக்கு அடி. அவங்க அக்கம் இருக்கிறவங்களாம் என்ன சொன்னாங்க, குழந்தை வந்து அழுதுதான் பொந்துச்சுன்னா, அழுவெல்லாம் பொறுக்கல, வரும்போதே டெட்டாகி தான் வந்தது அந்த குழந்தை, வேற எதுவுமே இல்லை. அக்கம் பக்கம் தான் இது ஹெல்ப் பண்ணாங்க. அவங்க அக்கம் பக்கம் இதோ இங்கே இருக்கிறவங்க, இதோ அந்த அண்ணா எல்லாரும் சேர்ந்து தான் இதுக்கு மேலே வைக்க முடியாது, பேபி தான் இறந்துச்சு, அவங்க ஒய்ஃபு கூட இது பண்ண முடியாது சொல்லி எல்லாரும் சேர்ந்து தூக்கின்னு போனாங்க. மீன்பாடியில்
ரிக்ஷால தூக்கிட்டு போனீங்க?
ஆமாம், ரிக்ஷால தூக்கின்னு போயிட்டு G3
I can feel how
ஹாஸ்பிட்டல்
crushed he
போனோம்.
is.
G3 ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் போனா கதவு மூடி இருந்துச்சு. ஹாஸ்பிட்டலே
I
திறக்க
can't imagine
மாட்டேன்ட்டாங்க.
how his wife is
அதுக்கப்புறமா
feeling.
முத்து
Jesus
ஹாஸ்பிட்டல்
Christ.
எதிர்க்க முத்து ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் போனா அவங்களும் ட்ரீட்மெண்ட் பார்க்க மாட்டேன்ட்டாங்க.
அந்த G3 ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் வந்து கவர்மெண்ட் தான்.
ஆமா கவர்மெண்ட் அங்கதான் அட்டை போடுறது. ஃபர்ஸ்ட் குழந்தைக்கு அங்கதான் அட்டை போட்டது. ட்ரீட்மெண்ட் எல்லாம் பார்த்தது அங்கதான். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் குழந்தைக்கு, ரெண்டாவது குழந்தைக்கும் அங்கதான் இது பண்ணோம். அதுக்கப்புறமா போகும்போது அம்மா பார்க்க மாட்டேன்டாம முத்து ஹாஸ்பிட்டல்ல போனோம். அவங்களும் ட்ரீட்மெண்ட் பார்க்க மாட்டேன்ட்டாங்க. இது மாதிரி இருந்தா நாங்க பார்க்க மாட்டோம் அப்படின்னா
நம்ம என்ன ப்ளீடிங் போயிட்டு இருந்தா ரத்தம்
இல்ல அது சிசரிங் பண்ண சொல்லி இங்கெல்லாம் இது பண்ண வீட்டு ஹவுஸ் இது பண்ண முடியாதுன்னு சொன்னோன்னே அங்க
தொப்புள் கொடிய வந்து அப்படியே இருந்துச்சு, குழந்தையோட
இருந்தது. அதை வந்து இது பண்ண முடியாதுன்னு சொன்னோன்னே வெட்டணும். அது ஆம்புலன்ஸ் ஃபோன் பண்ண சுத்தமா வரல. அதுக்கப்புறமா வெயிட்டிங் லிஸ்ட்ல போடாதப்பா, இதுக்கு உன் ஒய்ஃபுக்கு ஏதாவது ஆயிடும்னு சொல்லி அப்படியே போட்டுன்னு தூக்கின்னு ஏதோ மீன்பாடி ஊர் ஜனம் சொல்ல சேர்ந்து போயிட்டோம். போயினா அவர் முத்து ஹாஸ்பிட்டல்ல பார்க்க மாட்டேன்ட்டாங்க. அவங்களும் வானான்னு சொல்லிட்டு அதுக்கப்புறமா தலைமுடியமா போய் பேசினுக்குறாங்க அவங்க டாக்டர். இல்ல சிஸ்டர், அவங்க வந்து பேபி இறந்துச்சு, அந்த குழந்தைகிட்ட சொன்னா ஏதாவது இது பண்ணுவான் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி என்கிட்ட சொன்னேன். நான் தான் ஒழிஞ்சு நின்று கேட்டு நான் சொன்னேன், சார் அதெல்லாம் ஒரு பிரச்சனை, அது பேபி இறந்துச்சு எனக்கும் தெரியும், நீங்க வந்து பேபியை விட்டுருங்க, நீங்க அந்த பொண்ணை வந்து காப்பாத்து பாடுங்க சொன்னோடனே
சௌமியாவை.
ஆமா, இருந்தாலும் அவங்க என்ன சொன்னாங்க, இல்ல அதெல்லாம் என்ன, நான் போயிட்டு என்ன இன்னும் ஒரு ஆள் வந்து எங்க
அண்ணன் probably thought so many times that his wife is going to die too. I hope that wasn't a possibility.
அவர் போயிட்டு ஒரு காவல்துறை ஒருத்தரை லேடி காவல்துறை ஒருத்தரை கூட்டின்னு வந்து அவங்க சொல்லி ட்ரீட்மெண்ட் பார்த்து எல்லாம் பண்ணிட்டு பார்த்தோன்னா அவங்க மெடிசன் எல்லாம் ஒரு 5000 ஒரு 2500 ரூபாய் கிட்ட வாங்கிட்டாங்க காசு.
யாரு, நீங்க காசு கொடுத்தீங்களா? 2500 உங்கள்கிட்ட காசு இருந்துச்சா?
இல்ல ஊர் ஜனம் சேர்ந்து, அதான் சொல்றேன், ஊர் ஜனம் சேர்ந்து இது பண்ணாங்க. அந்த நேரத்துல காசு யாருக்கிட்டையும் இல்லை, வேலையே இல்லை. அந்த நேரத்துல வேலையும் இல்லை. 1 வாரம் 2 வாரமா வீட்டுல தான் இருக்கிறேன், வேலையும் இல்லை. அதை சேர்ந்து ஹெல்ப் பண்ணாங்க, கொடுத்துட்டோம். இப்போ அங்கேருந்து கூட்டின்னு போகிறது கூட படகுல தான் வச்சு கூட்டின்னு போனோம். அந்த டாக்டர் என்னன்ட்டாரு, அங்கே முத்து ஹாஸ்பிட்டலில் நீங்கள் எடுத்துன்னு போங்க, இங்கே ஜனம் சேர்ந்துச்சுன்னா தேவையில்லாமல் பிரச்சனை பண்ணாதீங்கன்னு சொல்லி கூட்டின்னு போனேன். சரி சொல்லி பாப்பாவும் இவங்களே கூட்டின்னு போயிட்டு அந்த பொஷாகம் வரைக்கும் தான் போனோம். அதுக்கு மேலே இன்னொரு ஆம்புலன்ஸ் வந்துச்சு, எக்மூர் எழுதி கொடுத்தாங்க.
அந்த பிரைவேட் ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் கூப்பிட்டு போனீங்களா? புளியந்தோப்புல
பிரைவேட் ஹாஸ்பிட்டலு. அதோட அங்கேருந்து தூக்கின்னு போகும்போது பொஷாகம் வரைக்கும் தான் போயிடுச்சு இது படகு. அதோட அங்கேருந்து வந்து இன்னொரு ஆம்புலன்ஸ் எக்மூருக்கு எழுதி கொடுத்தாங்க. எக்மூர் ஆம்புலன்ஸுக்கு ஃபோன் பண்ணோம், ஃபோனே எடுக்கல அவங்க. ரெஸ்பான்ஸ் வந்து காவல்துறை தான் ஹெல்ப் பண்ணாங்க ஃபுல்லாக, லேடி காவல்துறை இன்னும் எல்லாம் சேர்ந்து.
Shabir has close ties with the RSS. Ada pavigala. First off, saying Sabir Ahmad has close ties, this is DMK IT guy. Okay, this is DMK IT guy. DMK IT wing, DMK IT Ada pavigala. Yeah. DMK IT wing, basically, their entire thing is if you do not agree with the DMK 100% of the time, you must be out to get rid of the DMK. You must be, yeah, like, how is he tied to the RSS of the night? No, it's not that he's a Muslim and he's like, it's not out of the realm of possibility. But his biases are, like, it's obvious he's not the biggest fan of the DMK. That much is true. Like, you can tell he's not the biggest fan of the DMK because he's hyping up Amma kitchens, Amma canteens. He's hyping up, he hyped up ADM, he hyped up Amma, and he hyped up Sasigala. He's not the biggest fan of the DMK. But that being said, saying he's like he has ties to the RSS is fucking crazy.
ஹெல்ப் பண்ணாங்க, எல்லாம் ஹெல்ப் பண்ணி அங்கிருந்து தூக்கிட்டு போயிட்டு அங்கிருந்து இன்னொரு,
like, there are many people that are Dalits that criticize the DMK, but the DMK IT wing says, oh well, you guys are secretly working with the RSS to screw over the DMK. And it's like no, it is possible to be critical of the DMK. I know it's a crazy fucking thought. It's a crazy thought to the DMK IT wing. Being opposition does not equal being a Sanghi. No, in this case, like, if you are pro ADMK, you are a Sanghi. That's true. If you are pro ADMK, you are a Sanghi, and you're probably a casteist, right? If you are super pro ADMK, like ADMK just did a commemoration of a guy whose literal name was Gounder.
ஆம்புலன்ஸ் நின்று ஒரு டாடா ஏசியில் என் குழந்தை
Like calling,
என் ஒய்ஃப் எல்லாம்
like there are
டாடா
some
ஏசியில்
things that the News Minute does that I'm not the biggest fan of. Right? There are some things that the News Minute does that I'm not the biggest fan of.
வச்சு
Yes, this is like the DMK IT wing is literally the vote blue no matter who crowd. That is the best way of describing them. Yes. DMK IT wing is literally the DCCC.
கூட்டின்னு போகும்போது ஒரு ஆம்புலன்ஸ் எதிர்க்க நின்று இருந்தது. இன்னொரு காவல்துறை
No, there are actual, like, the thing is, okay, so here's the thing. There are Sangis. Like, their fears of Sangis constantly bashing Periyar, of Sangis constantly bashing DMK Hive. No. Yeah, it's DMK Hive is what that is. No. The fears of Sangis and right wingers constantly criticizing Periyar and Tam Brams constantly criticizing Periyar, those fears are not unfounded. They're true. They're absolutely true. Everything that the DMK, like, you had idiots literally saying this is what you had psychopathic North Indians saying like the Chennai floods are what Tamil Nadu deserves for being anti-Brahmin. Like, you had psychos saying that stuff, right? You had psychos literally in the North saying like this is what Tamil Nadu deserves for Udayanidhi Stalin saying like Sanatana Dharma needs to be erased or whatever, right? This is what North Indians and Sangis out and Tambram Sangis outside of Tamil Nadu say this all the time about Tamil Nadu. They say that they're anti-Sanatana Dharmam, and so as a result they deserve everything. No, yes, it's not even that there are Sangis. That is the bulk of the criticism. Udayanidhi Stalin is Stalin's son. Udayanidhi Stalin is just Stalin's son. No, that is the majority of criticism that the DMK gets. Most of the DMK, criticism that the DMK often gets is from Sangis. It's from straight Sangis that don't like Periyar, that don't like any of at least what the DMK is claiming it stands for. Right? That being said, that doesn't mean that every criticism of the DMK is unfounded. That does not mean that. The DMK earlier this year tried to pass a bill that would lengthen work hours for capitalism reasons because Apple wanted to open factories in Tamil Nadu. There's a Stalin Jr. Yes. There's MK Stalin and there's Udayanidhi Stalin. Yes. There is a Stalin Jr. Yes. Welcome to Stalin Jr. just recently got into politics. Before he was a standard actor. Yes.
அந்த டிராபிக் காவல்துறை நிப்பாட்டிட்டு மாதிரி அர்ஜென்ட் தூக்கின்னு போங்கன்னு சொல்லி அவர் கேஎம்சிக்கு தூக்கின்னு போயிட்டாங்க. அங்கேருந்து கூட்டிட்டு போனால் அங்கே போய் அட்மிட் பண்ணோம். அங்கே அட்மிட் பண்ணோன்னா அன்றைக்கி நைட்டுக்கு 8 மணிக்கு.
Actor to politics pipeline is almost conspiracy levels of prevalence. Chat, if you're not familiar with Tamil Nadu politics, almost every chief minister in Tamil Nadu, almost every chief minister of Tamil Nadu has come from the film industry. Almost everyone from Tamil Nadu, almost every leader of Tamil Nadu, except for one, has come from the film industry. Every single one of them except for EPS. உங்களுக்கு கமல் பிடிக்குமா ரஜினி பிடிக்குமா? டேய், இல்ல, கமலும் ரஜினியும் 2 சங்கி பாடு, அவ்வளவுதான். கமல் ரஜினினா 2 சங்கி பாடு, அவ்வளவுதான். புரியுதா? எப்பா கமல் ஒரு சங்கி பாடு, ரஜினி ஒரு சங்கி பாடு, புரியுதா? Yeah, MGR, Jayalalitha, Rajinikanth's wishy-washy will I, won't I. Kamal Hassan is also in politics. Kamal and Rajini are next. Kamal has been in politics. He has his own political party. Rajini has been teasing it for a while. And now Talapati Vijay is entering politics. Kamal Hassan is a Sanghi. Kamal Hassan is a Tamil Brahmin, and so he is going to be nice to his Tamil Brahmin. Kamal Hassan is a Tamil Brahmin. He's an Iyengar. And so he is going to necessarily be nice he's going to be nice to his Tamil Brahmin relatives. La Vijay la boss Vijay ஏற்கனவே இறங்கிட்டான் அரசியலுக்குள்ள
பேபியை வந்து
ஏற்கனவே இறங்கிட்டான் புரியுதா
ஆமா மாச்சுரிக்கு எடுத்துன்னு போகும்போது
why am I forgetting one more Tamil actor? They're all in politics. They're all in politics in some capacity.
எடுத்துன்னு போகும்போது அவங்க ஒரு இதுவா கேட்டாங்க மாச்சுரிலாம் முடிஞ்சிச்சு காலைல ஆதார் கார்டுலாம் எடுத்துன்னு வாங்க அந்த ஆதார் கார்டு கூட வச்சுங்க இன்னைக்கு வரையும் சுத்தின்னு தாங்கிறேன் அந்த பேபிக்கு ஆதார் கார்டு காலைல சொன்னேன் காலைல எடுத்துன்னு போய் கொடுத்தா அவங்க வந்து ஸ்டேஷன்ல இருந்து சைன் வாங்கிடுவாங்க லெட்டர் வாங்கிடுவாங்கன்றாங்க ஸ்டேஷன்ல கேட்டேன் இந்த மாதிரி லெட்டர் கேட்கலாம் அதெல்லாம் ஒன்றும் இல்லை நீங்க பேசிக்கோங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு
Wait, sorry. I just want to say I'm not a fan or anything. Kamal Hassan has been at least kind of open about being anti-casteism. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Kamal Hassan is full of shit. Kamal Hassan made a movie called Tevar Magan. Tevar Magan, listen. Tevar Magan. Okay, this is going to get me into trouble. Listen, Tevar Magan is a good film in terms of cinematography. In terms of glorifying the Tevar caste, it is horrible. In terms of glorifying Tevars as a caste, it's horrible. In terms of cinematography, I think it's good.
ஸ்டேஷன்ல சொன்னாங்க இப்போ இன்னைக்கு காலைல இப்போ ஒரு மணி நேரத்துக்கு முன்னே ஃபோன் வந்தது
It's horrible.
நானே பண்ணேன் சார் இந்த மாதிரி லெட்டர் கேட்கணும் அவர் என்ன நேத்தே வர வேண்டாம்
Wait, hold on a second. Let me see if I can find it. Lib Sangi motherfucker. Wait, what was it? What did you say? What did you say? Indian Nazi. Lib Sangi, MF's next movie has him cosplaying as an Indian Nazi in front of a portrait of an Indian Nazi. Isn't Prakash Raj also in politics? Prakash Raj is a Congress guy. Prakash Raj is a Congress guy because he's from Karnataka. Prakash Raj is a Kannadiga. Here's what I mean by he's full of crap. I wish to celebrate the extraordinary life of a gentleman with a genteel heart, Sri Kesava Parasaran, my Atimber. Atimber, by the way, for those of you who don't know, is a Brahmin-specific term. Only Tamil Brahmins use this exact term. Atimber is a specifically Brahmin term. Atimber is what? How do I say what that is? Atimber means shit. It means so Atimber literally means so in sister's husband. Yes. Thank you. That's better. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, Atimber literally means sister's husband. No, it's your aunt's husband or your sister's husband. It's your atte's husband or your sister's husband. It's either older, no, it's your sister's husband or your aunt's husband, who has donned many hats in his illustrious life. Legal savant, member of parliament, religious scholar, sports and arts aficionado, which, no. And above all, a devoted husband and father. A firm believer who stood up for our culture and constitution. This dude, Kesavan Parasaran, this dude was one of the main architects. He was one of the biggest advocates of the Rama temple in Ayodhya. He literally advocated in court for the construction of the Rama temple in Ayodhya. This guy, this dude is literally gassing up. He's literally gassing up a fascist, a literal fascist, by the way. He's literally gassing up a literal fascist. For those of you who don't know, what Bluestone is referring to is it's a movie reference. There's an Indian movie that is literally talking about Hitler. Listen, guys, this is too much. We'll get to this in a second, okay? But Kamal Hassan is like, listen. Kamal Hassan is he's biased by his own caste privilege. Let's put it that way. He's biased by his own caste upbringing.
கை குழந்தை வச்சு இன்னொரு கை குழந்தை இருக்குது, என்னால் வர முடியாது சார். எங்கள் மாமியாரும் டியூட்டி தான் செய்கிறாங்க, நானும் வந்து வேலை இல்லை, கை குழந்தை வச்சுன்னுக்கிறேன் சார், இப்போதைக்கு வர முடியாது. சரி உங்கள்
Not to be that person, but imagine shitting on a literal family member after they die like people would kill you. He's not dead. Olive Sea Branch, he's not dead. K. Parasaran isn't dead. No, K. Parasaran is not dead. He's alive. That's his, it's his birthday. No. It's his birthday. He's not dead. He's not dead, guys. He's alive. The person that you just saw, that I just pulled up, he's alive. He's alive. K. Parasaran is in his 90s. Yeah, he's just writing a fluff piece for fun. Yes.
சொந்தக்காரங்க யாராவது இருந்தாலும் கூட அமுச்சு விடுங்க, நான் தந்துடுறேன், அதில் பிரச்சனை இல்லை அப்படின்னு சொல்லி சொன்னான். இப்போ
Literacy rate doesn't solve casteism and class disparity. Yes, it does not. It does not. Most Indians are trilingual. That's not true. Most Indians are not trilingual. They're not. But even then, literacy rate doesn't solve casteism. It doesn't. They're very highly literate people. Like you have to remember, guys, you have to remember that historically, the most literate people are the most casteist. You have to understand that it's not just about pure literacy rates, that it's not even that. No, remember, guys, remember who for over thousands of years, who were the most literate in India? Which was the group that was the most literate? The entire basis of the caste disparity comes from the fact that one entire group of people hoarded literacy. Yeah, chat, literacy in literacy rate only means the ability to read and write in a language. That's it. It does not mean, literacy doesn't mean they are more educated. Literacy does not translate into more progressive politics. That's not what that means. You have plenty. Like, if you look at Brahmins in general, they are the most literate, right? They have historically been the most literate because they hoarded the education. So literacy doesn't mean anything, right? Brahmins are a perfect example of how you can be incredibly literate, but insanely casteist. Brahmins are a perfect example of how you can be incredibly literate, incredibly well educated, and still be horrifically racist and casteist. The whole point of things like reservation is to increase political power and representation of those that were marginalized for thousands of years. That's the whole point of reservation.